We learned yesterday that we finished off that what do we learn from Mishpacha? It teaches us that Kohanim and Bavodasam, Veluvim, Beduchnam, and Kolshkein Yisrael B'Mamadan, Kul Mavatan Avodasan, Uboin Lishmor Megillah. So on that the Gemara says further, says now, Mikan Samchu Shel Beis Rebbe. From here, the Beis Rebbe relied on Shemivatan Talmud Torah, Uboin Lishmor Megillah. That you stop your learning to read the Megillah, Kavachomer Me'avoda. Me'avoda Shichamura, just like Avoda, which is very strict, it's very Chomer Mevatlin, Talmud Torah lo kosher game. So on that, ask the Gemara, Avoda Chamura mi Talmud Torah? Is the Avoda more Chomer than Talmud Torah? We have a pasuk not like that. Says the Gemara of Aksiv, it says by Yoshua when he was coming to lay siege on Yericho, Vahi Bios Yeshua be Yericho. There was a man in front of him, and he bowed down to him. So ask the Gemara, how could he bow down to him? Says Rashi. You're not allowed to even give shalom to your friend at night when you're outside the city and alone, and there isn't a group of people like Yeshua was, Tosas explains. Because we're scared that person is a shade. And therefore, you're giving shalom, you're using Hashem's name, and you're giving shalom to a shade. So kol shekain, all the more so you shouldn't have bowed down to him in case he was a shade. Says the Gemara, Shiny Hassam. There it's different. The Amar by Yoshua, the Amar ki ani sar tzva Hashem. He said straight out to Yoshua what he was. He's a sar tzva Hashem. He's a general in the army of Hashem, and he used Hashem's name. So therefore, Yoshua knew what he was a malach, not a shade. Ask the Gemara, Vidilmar Meshakri. Maybe he was lying and he wasn't a malach. Maybe he wasn't a malach. He was a shade. Says the Gemara, Gemiri de lo mafki shem shemayim levatala. We have a tradition that even a shade is not going to say shem shemayim levatala. Amar lo. So what did the malach say to him? He said, Emes. This afternoon, bitaltem tamid shubayin arbayim. You didn't bring the carbon tamid of the bein arbayim, and the Toast explains why didn't they do it? Because the Kohanim were with the Aron, so they were busy with the Aron, so they didn't bring the carbon of the bein arbayim. Va'achshe bitaltem Talmud Torah, and it's one thing you didn't learn earlier because you were in war, you was during war, but now at night bitaltem Talmud Torah. Amar lo. So Yeshua said to him, Al Ezim Hambasa. So which one are you coming for? A Malach can only do one thing at a time. He's only had to do one mission. What are you coming for? The Mefarshim explain. Amar lo. So the Malach said to him, Atabasi, I'm coming now for the Aveira that you did now of Talmud Torah. Tosas explains a little bit more that the pasuk says when it speaks about the Torah, the pasuk says, Va'ata kisvu lachem es ashira azos. And now write for Kisvu Lachem, write for yourself as Ashir Azos, write the Torah, but it starts off with the what word? Va'ata. So the Malach was saying, Ata Basi, I'm coming because of the Torah, Ata. So I'm coming from now, and now you're doing Bittul Tam Torah. Miyad, right away, the next time that Yoshua had a chance, when he was by the pasuk says, Vayolen Yoshua Balaylahu, and he stayed. He lodged, he stayed, Balaylahu B'soch Ha'emek in the valley. Amr Rabbi Yochanan, we turn the Amid, Melamed Shalon Ba'um Kasha Halacha. This teaches us, we learn out from here, that he set himself up, Ba'um Kasha Halacha, in the depths of halacha, that he learned Torah heavily, like the Malach told him he should have done the first time. But what do we see from here? Amr Rab Shmuel Bar Onya says, Gadol Talmud Torah, Yosem Akravas Tamidim. You see that Talmud Torah is what? More important than Akravas Tamidim, than the carbon. Because what did the Malach say? I'm coming for what? I'm not coming to take you to task for the carbon Talmud. I'm coming to take you to task for Bittul Torah. So therefore, how could the Samchu Shel Beis Rebbe, how could the Beis Rebbe make a Kal V'chomer and say that if you push off Mikra Megillah, you push off Avoda from Mikra Megillah and you do Mikra Megillah, that you also should push off Torah? We see from here that Torah is more important. Says the Gemara, Shenemar Atabasi, and the Gemara Lokasha, Hadarabim Bahadiyachid. The Torah of Yoshua, says Rashi, Dasam Kol Yisrael Havi. It was the whole Klal Yisrael. And therefore, the whole Klal Yisrael, that Torah is Chashuv. But Hadiyachid, this case that the Beis Rebbe was talking about was when it wasn't the whole Klal Yisrael. It doesn't mean The Gemara here doesn't mean a yachid, a singular person. Could mean a group, but it means that it wasn't the whole Klal Yisrael. The Brisker Rav explains, because when it's the whole Klal Yisrael and it was Yoshua, I don't know if Rashi learns like this, it could be he does, but when it's the whole Klal Yisrael and Yeshua is giving him over, there it's more important because that's the Mesorah of Torah. Moshe kibel Torah misinai, u'Mesorah lahu liYoshua. So that was, anytime Yoshua was giving over Torah to Klal Yisrael, that was the Mesorah of Torah. So it wasn't only Torah. It was the Mesorah of Torah. But anytime else, I'm not sure if Rashi learns like that, you could say he does, because Rashi says the Hasam Kol Yisrael Havu. Was it Kol Yisrael? The whole Klal Yisrael? The whole Klal Yisrael was there by war? Could be he does learn like that. Okay, so says the Gemara, Hadarab Hadiyachid. Ask the Gemara, the Yachid Kal? Is Yachid, you telling me that if it's the Torah of a Yachid, just groups of people, large groups of people, but groups of people and not the whole Klal Yisrael, that's Kal? Ay, Vatnan, Nashim B'moid Ma'anos, women on Chol HaMoed Ma'anos, they're allowed to wail for a mace, they're allowed to grieve for someone who died. Avalom Matapchos, they can't bang their chest. Rabbi Shmuel said, Im hayu smuchos lamita, if they're close to the coffin, mitapchos, they could even bang their chest. Rosh Chodashim, b'Chanukah, u'b'Purim, on Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, which is less than what? Less than Chol HaMoed, ma'anos u'mitapchos. There they could wail, and they could be mitapchos. There's a little bit of a girsa question here. Rashi has one girsa, the Bach says the other. I'm going to go with the Bach only because I'm able to read it better that way, I understand the Gemara. So it says, just for now, we'll go with that. Bazeh u'bazeh, says the Bach. U'mitapchos bazeh, I'm sorry. Bazeh u'bazeh eina mekononos. But on all these days, whether it's Chanukah, Purim, and Kol Shekain, if it's Chol HaMoed, you could, I'm sorry, not Kol Shekain, but even on Chol HaMoed and Chanukah and Purim, you can be Bazel Bazeh ain't mekononos. You can't be mekononos. Rashi explained mekononos is worse than wailing. Wailing is when everyone wails together. Mekononos means where, you know how we do Ana Hashem Oshiana, where one person says Ana Hashem Oshiana and everyone answers. So mekononos means that one woman would scream out ay 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 ay, and everyone together would go ay 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 ay. So they would be, it's a much heavier grieving. So it says Bazeh Bazeh, both on Chol HaMoed you can't do that, but Kol Shekain, Bazeh Bazeh on Chol HaMoed, and on the others, on Chanukah, Purim, and Rosh Chodesh, even on those days, you can't Avalol Mekononos. But Amar Rabba Huna, Ein Moed B'fnei Talmid Chacham. However, if the mace is a Talmid Chacham, Ein Moed B'fnei Talmid Chacham. You could even if it's Chol HaMoed, you could even do what? Mekonanos. You could do everything. Everything stops for a Talmid Chacham. Kol Shekain Chanukah U'Purim. All the more so Chanukah U'Purim, you could stop with the Simcha of Chanukah U'Purim and wail for a Talmid Chacham whatever way you need. Tosas learns one way this Gemara. I'm going to just say over the way the Gaon learns because it's a little easier for now. And that is, he says that we know that we compare Simcha of Purim to Megillah, right? We have a heket of what? Schira Ta'asiyah. So therefore, just like you're allowed to stop the simcha that you have on Purim and grieve for the Talmid Chacham, so too the Gemara is learning out, you could stop what? You could stop Mikra Megillah. So it comes out that what do you see from here? That you're allowed to stop Mikra Megillah, not only for the whole Klal Yisrael, not even only for groups, but even for what? You could stop even for one Chacham. You could stop even for one Talmid Chacham. So therefore, so ask the Gemara, so how could you tell me that a Yachid, that a small group or a Yachid is what? Is not important, is not as important enough to stop Megillah. We see over here that we do stop for a Talmid Chacham. So says the Gemara, now you're on a different territory. Kavod Torah Kamrit. We're not stopping learning Torah for the Megillah. We're doing Kavod Torah. We're questioning whether we do go to his funeral of a Talmid Chacham. That's Kavod Torah. That's the respect of Torah. Kavod Torah Kamit. Kavod Torah the Yachid Chamor. Even a Kavod Torah of a Yachid is Chamor. Talmid Torah the Yachid Kal. The Talmid Torah of a what? Of a Yachid. That, a Talmid Torah of a Yachid. The learning, we tell him to stop learning. But if you have a choice to go and give respect to the Torah of a Yachid, it doesn't even say a Talmid Chacham. the Gemara at the end. It just says, Torah diyachid chamar, Talmud Torah diyachid kal. So the Mefarshim speak out is because there you are, when you stop learning, you're stopping to learn one time. Every person is stopping to learn one time. Every person is a yachid. And they stop to hear they stop to hear the Megillah. But when you're stopping for the kavod of someone's learning, a Talmud Chacham, then you're stopping for the learning of his whole life, of all the learning that he did. And therefore, when you're stopping for all the learning that he did, that's kavod. That's the kavod of Torah. That's very important to show respect to that. Just finish off a tiny bit, and we'll get to the next Gemara tomorrow. Va'amar Rabba bar Rav Huna. No, we did that already. Amar Rava. Rava says pshituli. It's obvious. Oh, one other thing, Tosas does mention when it says that you could wail, you could do anything in front of a Talmid Chacham. It also means, says Tosfos, the day when you heard it, the day when you hear about it, that day, the Yom Shmua can be fun of dummy. It says that b'fnei Talmid Chacham. It doesn't mean when a Talmid Chacham dies. Let's say I heard that a Talmid Chacham died a week ago. It doesn't help. It either means you're in front of him, you're in front of the mace, or the day that you heard about it. Now, okay, finishes Rabba. Amar Rabba pshita li. It's obvious to me three things: avoda mikra Megillah, mikra Megillah adif. That avoda and mikra Megillah. That when you have avoda and mikra Megillah adif, like we learned on Amid Aleph on the bottom in Rav Yosef Rav Chanina. Talmud Torah mikra Megillah. When you have Talmud Torah mikra Megillah adif, mikra Megillah goes in front. Means the samchus shows Beis Rabbi. That we learned from Beis Rabbi. And the last one, at least for today, is Talmud Torah u'meis mitzvah. What happens when you have Talmud Torah and meis mitzvah? Meis mitzvah means when you have a mace, someone who died doesn't have anyone to bury them. What happens when you have Talmud Torah and meis mitzvah? Meis mitzvah adif. Meis mitzvah comes first. Midatane, like we learned in a brisa. Mevat and Talmud Torah, not only for meis mitzvah, lo tzoas ha-meis, even for a regular mace, ulachnas kala, or to walk a kala either to the badekin or to the chuppah. And then the Gemara says avodu meis mitzvah. If you have what happens if you have the fourth one? Avodu meis mitzvah adif, and that's a complicated halacha that we're going to get into tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming. See you tomorrow.